If you're lazy, stuck or constantly procrastinating, the internet usually gives you the same advice. You just need more discipline. Scroll through any productivity video and you hear the same phrases over and over again. Motivation fades, but discipline lasts. Stay consistent. Successful people are disciplined. And at first glance it sounds completely reasonable, because motivation really does fade. Discipline seems like the thing that keeps you going. While the hustle mindset guys used to talk about making money and becoming rich and successful, the idea of discipline quietly spread into other areas of life, like health, work, or even relationships. And technically, I actually agree with that. Discipline can be an incredibly powerful tool, but only if it's used the right way. Because the real problem isn't discipline itself. The real problem is how we interpret it. And this is actually the opposite of every motivational video out there. Because let's imagine there are two people starting to work on their dreams 8 hours a day, both working the same amount of time. Why is it that one of them gets burned out after a few months and the other one can keep going like forever? There was a time when I wanted to get in shape by following a strict workout routine as well as a perfect diet. Well, I still kind of want that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not too far away from it, but the approach is a very different one. The strict routine might get the best results. Is it possible to stick to it long term? I'm sure some people would say now, yes, it is possible if you're just disciplined. But let's be honest, the reason why so many of us fail at such a thing is not because we lack discipline, but rather because being 100% strict is just not sustainable for most people long term. And I failed at it too, honestly. But there is a better way. Sometimes you crave the cheat meal. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to give in to that feeling every time and just do what you want. But for me it helped to be disciplined enough to stick to the routine 80 to 90% of the time. And the rest of the time just let go. Not only is it great for your sanity, but also, what's life worth if you can't enjoy something from time to time? And that made me realize something interesting about discipline in general. Sometimes we only see the world from our own perspective. If something works for us, we assume it should work the same for everyone. So if someone manages to push through endless hours of working without burning out, they often start believing that anyone who can't do the same must simply be lazy, mentally weak, or not disciplined enough. But the reality is a little bit more complicated. We are simply built differently. Different personalities, different energy levels, different attention spans. Some people thrive in long, intense work sessions. Others perform better in shorter bursts. Some people love structure, while yet others feel trapped by it. We all carry a completely different mix of traits, strengths, and tendencies. For some people, working extremely long hours every single day might feel natural. For others, that schedule would drain their energy in a matter of weeks. And that's okay. The real measure should never be someone else. It should always be ourselves. If right now you can only concentrate for 1 hour, it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. Focus can be trained. Endurance can be trained. Over time you might extend that hour to 2 hours or even 3. But it might still look very different from someone who naturally thrives in 12-hour workdays. And that's not necessarily a disadvantage. Because maybe your strength lies somewhere else. Maybe you're more intuitive, more creative, or more observant, better at understanding people, connecting ideas, or seeing patterns others miss. Everyone operates with a different set of tools. And when we ignore all that, that's when discipline actually becomes harmful. One of the biggest predictors of burnout is simple: doing something for a long time that you don't enjoy at all. Everyone tells you to just be disciplined or to push through. But if you constantly force yourself to do something that drains you, eventually your mind and body will fight back. And that's when motivation disappears completely. Real discipline isn't about suffering. It's about understanding how you work best and then building your habits around that. Pay attention to your own patterns. When are you most focused? When does your energy crash? Discipline can mean creating a structure that supports your natural rhythm, not fighting against it. And don't get me wrong, some of the most happiest people in the world have probably never spent a single thought on the concept of discipline. They simply follow what feels meaningful to them. And that works too, because happiness doesn't come from one single formula. So what I'm really trying to say is this: discipline is a tool, a powerful one. It can help you get out of a rut, it can help you build consistency, and it can help you achieve difficult things. But it's not the only path. And the real challenge isn't forcing yourself into someone else's system. It's figuring out what actually works for you, because the goal was never to become the most disciplined person in the room. The goal was to build a life you can actually sustain.